got Chocolate Bonnie, honestly probably one of, if not the best skins in the entire goddamn game. And then you got the, like, what happened?
Because me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people agree, he is absolutely awful, and in not ways that you would think.
I feel like these reused animations are just going to speed up FNaF AR's death because, like I said, nobody wants to see recycled content over and over and over again, just looking slightly different.
Here at Illumix, we follow one simple philosophy: quality over quantity.
There's nothing on earth like the feeling of greed.
Oh, what's that? You're interested in our
like
merchandise?
I mean,
well,
I
I'm
just think
glad
this
you
update
asked.
just needs
I
a little
bet
bit
you'll
more
love
work.
our plush
Like, they just need to
merch.
update the health
Be
bar.
sure to put a lot
I
of
think,
time
you know,
My honest opinion of this update.
I am disappointed by it, I'll be honest.
Hey everyone, Tyler here, and welcome to a video I never thought I ever had to make. Like, really. I legitimately thought a video like this never had to be made. I, as well as a lot of other people in the fandom, thought Illumix would fix their game immediately when it started having flaws, you know, the positive outcome. But unfortunately, not everything in life results in good things. Those problems that started to rise in mid-2020 would only become worse and worse, and even more worse. And as a result of this, I feel like this video needs to be made. Now, I must clarify, this is not going to be a video that completely bashes FNaF AR or Illumix. Yes, negative things are of course going to be listed. I wouldn't be making this video if there were minimal to no problems with the game after all. But on top of that, this is going to be an actual critique on FNaF AR, and it will contain constructive criticism to help FNaF AR become an enjoyable game again. Yes, I know, I've made 2 videos on which you could consider bashing on Illumix and FNaF AR. But most importantly, I do want to see this game and Illumix succeed because it did have potential. And hell, back in 2019 and early 2020, it was objectively pretty good for the most part. There were only the minor issues that came with any other game in existence because again, no game is perfect. But it was at least solid, and now, it's just a shadow of its former self, and I don't want that for Illumix. So that's why this video is being made. I've been a FNaF fan since the beginning back in 2014, and I've come to know what the community is like and what they want for your game to take off. Now, of course, before we begin, here are the 2 usual things. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell. It's totally optional, however it would be appreciated if you did. I've got nothing else to say, let's do this. So pretty much, Five Nights at Freddy's AR Special Delivery is a spin-off game in the FNaF franchise, which was released on November 25th, 2019. It was created by a new indie game studio called Illumix. Pretty much, Illumix took FNaF and added an augmented reality twist to a series that a lot of people outside the fandom would consider dead in the water if you didn't count Help Wanted. It was a unique concept. You used your phone or mobile device to shock animatronics that would be coming to your current location to kill you. It was breathtaking for a lot of people in the FNaF community, and it even got some people back into the series. As well, that's not even to mention all the promotion tactics prior to the game's release that got the fan base excited. The hype was real, and when it released, yeah, it was worth the wait, I'd say. So I guess this is where I share my honest thoughts on the game pre-downfall, which I would say would be November 2019 all the way to May 2020. Now, I actually used to think it was just decent and nothing more, like a 6 out of 10. But looking back now, honestly, this was actually semi-great at most and just good at least. Like a 7.5 out of 10. The gameplay was unique, and whenever it started to get repetitive, new mechanics were added like a mask when Toy Chica released, and a mechanic involving finding parts when Mingle released. The skins at this time, which were Shamrock Freddy, Chocolate and Easter Bonnie, and the Arcade Mayhem game, were either good or great, and are regarded as some of the universally best skins the game has ever had. There were emails in the game that gave tips on new animatronics while still providing an experience in the encounters, and the emails as well provided mysterious lore for the fans to get excited about. The shop's prices, while not completely perfect, were definitely better handled than how it is now, and back to the skins, there was a balance between the release of characters and the skins. One or the other didn't overtake. FNaF AR, for its first few months, was genuinely a solid game with not very huge problems. It of course had its bugs, but one, there weren't many, and some of them actually got acknowledged and fixed, more on that later. Secondly, it's a game, that's expected. However though, around June 2020 was when shit started to hit the fan. Admittedly, it was pretty slow at first, and we still got some good skins and characters. But besides that, yeah, this game tanked really hard. In October 2020, there was a gameplay update which, to be honest, it was just a mixed bag and not good, but not bad either. Then in May 2021, oh boy, one of the absolute worst things to ever happen to the game happened. However, this is a good segue into the problems with FNaF AR in its current days. So, what's the difference between a character and a skin? A character is an animatronic that is usually, most of the time, a character from the mainline FNaF games that have their own mechanics, functionalities, voice lines, and etc. A skin is basically another version of the character, practically a reskin. So if you're ever on FNaF Twitter, you'll typically see complaints to Illumix regarding how they should add more characters into the game instead of skins. Now this is actually a fair complaint. Yes, some people can take it way too far at times, but it is a legitimate criticism at the end of the day. I personally feel like Illumix should really start considering toning down the skins and putting more time into making characters. Now, I'm not saying to get rid of skins. A lot of skins in this game are honestly pretty good, and it's actually a good idea to still keep making them. They can serve as an appetizer for the next character, and they can help carry FNaF on its legs during the wait for security breaches like in 2020. However though, the problem is when there's no character after the onslaught of skins. I feel like there should be a balance between the amount of skins and characters. Maybe for each event there would be 2 skins and then a character. As well, on the topic of skins, I wish there was a bit more time put into the skins as well. Again, plenty of them are good, or even great, but there's still the outliers in the roster. Like, some of them just don't have anything to do with FNaF, that's the problem. When I go to New York City and I see the Statue of Liberty, I don't think, hey, this would be a great FNaF character. When I'm watching Finding Nemo and I'm watching the part with the anglerfish, I don't stop and think, I can see this being related to Endo 01. Like, no. The reason why the Arcade Mayhem event skins were honestly great was because of their skin concepts actually had a tie-in with FNaF. Now, they don't always have to seem like FNaF. Maybe the skin's looks might just be enough to carry it, like with Black Ice Frostbear, for example. As well, there's another problem I can think of with the skins, but that leads on to my next point. Now, it's nothing new for companies to cut corners with their products for money purposes. We see it all the time. However though, there's a problem when it becomes easily noticeable by the people that are using your product. There are countless times where it's so easy to catch the fact that Illumix simply didn't care at a certain point in a coming skin or update production. Like the amount of reused workshop animations, the amount of reused danger meter animations, and now even the reuse of pre-existing skins. Now admittedly, Melted Chocolate Bonnie was actually pretty decent as a skin, but the overall concept of the skin, that being, it's a skin of a skin, is honestly scary and worrisome for the game's future. And if Illumix successfully did it before, they can do it again. By the way, when I mean by successfully, I mean as in making the skin and being able to actually get it out and making profits. Critically, this skin got overall mixed response in the community, with a lot of people gearing towards the negative side of the spectrum for honestly fair reasons. But back to the main point, these reuses of several aspects in the game are only going to drive people away. It's actually already have, and it's only going to increase the more this stuff happens. I know that V, or one of the main animators at Illumix, doesn't work there anymore, so I can cut Illumix some slack with the reused animations. But regarding the reuse of skins, come on. You were able to make skins both before and after Melted Chocolate Bonnie, so you have the ability to make new skins whether they're good or literally shit, so reused skins shouldn't be on the list of things that are getting reused over and over. Remember how unique Golden Freddy's workshop animation was? We need that kind of spark back in the game, because quite frankly, it's an improvement at the end of the day and not a fucking reuse. I guess I can talk about my issues with this to the support team. Yeah, what a surprise. The support team for FNaF AR is also another problem. So pretty much a support team for a game or website or anything is meant to be used as a way to contact someone if the game or website or whatever is not properly working for you and you want a solution or fix. Usually it's a bot, but it's often a real person that comes back to you. Now, a good support team will either provide you the solution to the problem or at the very least nudge you into the right direction. However, with FNaF AR support team, oh boy. Now, I do not have any personal experiences myself with this, but I know a lot of people have, and that includes a fellow friend of mine who would like to share their experience with them on here. Take it away, Ooftrat.
Thank you, Tyler. As you said about the incompetent support team, they mostly do not fix people's problems, and it can usually end up taking months, as that happened to me. Basically, I was playing FNaF AR, and a recent update had came out. This was on June 24th of 2020, basically last year. I was playing the game because a new skin had come out, or I think it was a new skin, I don't remember, but I remember it was Firework Freddy, I think, because it was near the month of July, and it was 4th of July, obviously. I've been going through back and forth emails from Illumix's support team, and nothing really happened. It was just giving them account details, and they said they'd come back to me. It really didn't work out well. And I was getting very frustrated, because all my previous stuff before the update, I had everything there, and I paid for things too, so it's just losing something I paid for would be really devastating, you know. I gave up during that time and didn't come back to FNaF AR for quite a while actually, and I've been playing other games because I just enjoyed it, and I just gave up basically. I just didn't want to like keep going through all that painful experience. But then on December 23rd of 2020, that same year, I had gotten an email from some employee who I think works at Illumix. He was I assume the support team manager or some employee or something. He said he got my account back and everything was there. And I was happy. I'm like, actually they came back. They actually cared. But that took them 6 months. That is just absurd right there. But when I logged in, there were some minor things I did not have, which is kind of stupid. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I had missed a Freddy CPU and a Toy Bonnie suit, I think. That's the only stuff. They're really easy to get, so it's not that hard. Not like Springtrap or Baby or, all that stuff. And that was basically my personal experience with their support team. And I have sent other emails before this whole situation happened. It was like, I remember I was missing Faz coins after I paid for something, and they fixed the problem. Didn't take them that long, like maybe 3 to 4 business days, and that's what they say on the email, so it's how it works. But I think that was just a problem they had, and I think there could be definitely room for improvement in the future, and I really hope they do that. They can't just take so long to get people's stuff back and not have everything. So yeah, that's all for me. I really hope they improve the game. I have some other opinions on the game, like skins, but I'm not here to explain all of that. Just my personal experience. Well, that was all for me. Back to you, Tyler.
That's a massive yikes. Well, I guess let's talk about the newer problems with this game that came with the gameplay update. And oh no. So, I personally think that this was the event that completely killed FNaF AR and shattered a lot of people's positive opinions on this game. On May 18th, 2021, Illumix finally released the gameplay update, which was promised to be the life changer for FNaF AR. However though, it really wasn't the case. The update turned out to be shit. A lot of problems arise from this update that made the game worse than it could have possibly been. Some problems that came from this update were the unnecessarily longer battles and leveling systems, increased drop rates, badly handled loot boxes, a lot of missed potential is present, and then the fact that the game pulled a Plants vs. Zombies and turned into a pay-to-win deal where you need to pay a lot of money to get far in the fucking game. This game is extremely close to its death now because of this update. Like, this game is literally in the hospital right now on its deathbed. It's that fucking close. And I haven't even mentioned the amount of bugs that this game has. It's a lot. Like, a lot. So much fucking bugs. This literally proves that this game isn't play tested at all before a new update is pushed out. And that isn't even the worst part. Hell no. Here's the worst part about all of this. Yep, this is an actual problem with this game, and the company in general. Look, I know what Illumix HQ is like over there, but you certainly acknowledge the fact your game's broken, or that it has unsolved bugs, certainly, right? Like, almost all the time, whenever there's a bug or issue with the game, and it gets reported constantly either through the Balzic's support team, or the comments on their social media, nothing fucking happens. They're either working on the next skin, or Kieran is just posting random shit on her Instagram. She would rather be posting second grade dribble, rather than being an actual CEO of her own goddamn company. It's fucking astounding. Like, apparently, she isn't a person into video games, yet they're literally a fucking video game company. Like, what the hell is this? Now, since I did kind of get heated there, I will give a positive to this section. When the gameplay update launched, around 2 days later, they did add a splash image on the game regarding the bugs and how they're fixing them. Now, this is in the right direction. However, I wish they posted this on their other social medias too. The report being posted in the game is fine, but it just needs to be posted more widespread. Like whenever you're announcing skins and characters, for example. Like still in the game, but also Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, you know. And at the end of the day, them somewhat acknowledging this issue is a step forward. However though, that is a minor step, and only one step out of many. If you really want to go as far as to have people enjoy this game again, here's what you need to do. Now here's the reason why you clicked on the video. So imagine this. You were just hired to work at Illumix, and you have a major role in developing FNaF AR. You need to make the game better than its current state and make it enjoyable again, or at the very least, get people to like it. So, what do? The pressure's all on you. The FNaF community is relying on you to fix this game. The fanbase is always on open arms with what you're doing. Whatever you do might always get criticized. Thankfully for you though, you know the game's main problems and you have a checklist which contains acknowledging issues / being open to the community, successfully fixing bugs, more efficient support team, preventing corner cuts, balancing characters and skins, and improving the gameplay. So, what's your first move? Well, firstly, I'd make a post acknowledging the game's bugs and issues and declaring that you'll fix those bugs and problems, sort of similar to the splash image. However, here's what I would do differently. 2 things. Number 1, put this post in not just the game. The game's a place I would still post it in, but again, I would also post it on Twitter, on Reddit, on Instagram, wherever. Therefore, it can reach a broader audience. And number 2, I would list exactly what bugs I intend on fixing at the current moment of time. Pretty much just be more open with the fanbase, like Scott and Steelwool. Whenever there's a problem with releasing something, announce it. Whenever something has to be delayed, announce it if you're mostly sure that's what it needs. Alrighty, there you go. The company ignorance problem is now gone, and the acknowledging issues item has been ticked off the list. You just announced the update regarding fixing bugs across everywhere. What's next? Well, actually start fixing them. Shocker, I know. I suggest to start fixing bugs from the most unbearable bugs to least unbearable. Priorities, basically. Obviously, the goal is to fix all of them, but what I mean is to start with the bugs that can make the game unplayable for people first, like the random crashes and the shop issues. And that's important to fix because that could be money wasted from the customer, and of course that's a bad thing. And then fix visual-like ones last, like this weird thing. I would also spend time doing this and play testing it quite a bit. Maybe hire some beta testers like Dako or Fusion to help beta test, and if they find bugs that are present, they can report it to you and you can go back and try to finally fix it. I know Dako would be interested in beta testing because Click Team had Dako beta test the ports. Of course, don't stress yourself out too much. I know, there's a lot to consider. The amount of bugs left in the game, the fact you have to also abide by other device requirements, but you're in a company. There are surely other people that can help you. And then, when all the bugs you listed in the progress update have been confirmed to be fixed, then you can launch the update. And that's the fixing bugs item checked off the list. Next, I would improve the support team. Now, this might seem tricky because this would seem like you're programming a bot. However, not necessarily. Sure, you can keep the support bots, but the issues come in when it takes ages for your problem to be fixed. What I would do is that one day every week, probably like a Friday, where you just got done releasing the skin/character of the week, check the emails that were sent to the support team email and take note of these and try your best to resolve these user-specific issues as soon as you can. And whenever they're confirmed to be fixed, respond back to the user regarding this information, and voila, efficient support team, check. Now, if you're a lazy person, this one will be somewhat tricky to do, but it's worth a shot. Alright, firstly, try to hire a new animator as soon as you can, and get them to work on original animations for the pre-existing characters and skins that have reused animations. Of course, take your time so they can turn out better than if they were rushed. And then, when a new skin or character is in the oven, have the newly hired animator make new original animations. Maybe if it were for a new character like the puppet, make the animation somewhat unique to that character, like having it float. As well, I would just not make skins of skins. That's a bad precedent. You usually hear that the concept of something is good, but the execution is bad. But for Melted Chocolate Bonnie, it's actually the other way around for once. Good execution, but bad concept. Bad concepts can lead to problems, so I would just kill that idea right off. But there you go. You're officially not lazy. Congratulations! You've just now checked off stopping cutting corners on the checklist. Nicely done. Your game may be decent now to people, but you still need to do 2 more things to completely win people over. How do you propose we do that? Well, we get to another controversial complaint regarding this game, which is this ass-lot amount of skins and lack of characters. Now, there should be a balance. Like I suggested earlier, how about for an event, you stick to a path. 2 skins and then 1 character. Like here's a great idea for an event. For Easter 2022, the first week, you finally add Chocolate Freddy. Then the next week, you finally add Chocolate Chica. And then for the 3rd and final week of the event, you add Funtime Freddy. The character doesn't even need to relate to the theme. Blora has nothing to do with a sizzling summer. Bingo. As well, make sure the skins are of quality. Like, make them seem like they would be from FNaF. Like maybe some Shadow-like skins, or a stage performance-inspired skin set, something on those lines. You have now finally resolved the biggest complaint with the game of all time now. That's awesome. You got the balance between skins and characters checked off. Then finally, what gameplay additions would I change, add, or remove? Well, firstly, I would fix the gameplay update. To do that, I would get rid of loot boxes. Then I would decrease the battle times. Then I would bring back the old leveling system where you would only need 1 animatronic to fight and then you level up. Nextly, I would make the shop an optional thing and make it to where the game is beatable without the shop. And regarding the shop, not making the prices absurd. And then finally, regarding the gameplay update, utilize the gameplay update UI on everyone else, since that's not a thing yet in the game for whatever reason. So, I can see it, but the game's gonna get repetitive. Yeah, I know, but want to know how that can be fixed as well? Well, here. Just like the toys, Plush Trap, and Golden Freddy, add new gameplay mechanics for characters. Don't do what happened with the Jackos, and make them like everyone else. Make new maps like with Plush Trap for example, and then offer some mechanic ideas. Maybe for the puppet, offer a music box. Maybe for Funtime Freddy, you need to find Bonbon or maybe put your mask on when Bonbon comes at you. Or for Lefty, if you hear them hush up the player, you stay completely still until you stop hearing the hushing. Those are some ideas. Think outside the box. This is a game, an AR game at that. Use that to your advantage. It's the selling point of your game. Like, do what you did with Shadow Bonnie and have the AR UI put into play with some of the new mechanics offered by new characters. I can definitely see someone like Ennard possibly hiding behind a bush or shelf in the game. And there you go. The final item has been checked. The FNaF community is proud of you. You did it good. More people are playing FNaF AR again, and they are unironically enjoying it. People are now hyped for what's to come next with your game. People are being fed when they're waiting for security breach. This game is now considered not one of the worst anymore. Hell, some former FNaF fans are FNaF fans again because of this game and your decisions. This game maybe left an impact in gaming history, and that would be all because you, mate, have officially fixed Five Nights at Freddy's AR Special Delivery.